بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما.
Next, we'll see one more exhibit a scenario where this is based on the VLANs and the trunking configurations. And of course, it also covers some of the IP addressing and the subnetting concepts as well. So the exhibit here is given, and you can see these are the ports which are in the VLANs. And then this particular port is already configured as a trunk port. And this interface is configured with sub-interfaces. And again, you can see these are the sub-interfaces we have, and these are the respective IP addresses which are given in that particular for that particular sub interfaces here. So our task is like we are adding some host to the switch A. Now, when you're adding this specific host, like I think he's talking about A and B here, because if you see the question here, we have an options which are relevant to A and B. So, which are the three values which will be used for the configuration of this specific host? So there are three correct answers here. So we need to figure out those correct answers. Now, basically, we need to figure out the range here. So the main part is subnetting, because here the host, he did not specify any IPs, but based on this IP which is given to us and the subnet mask, we can figure out that there are 888 and 5 host bits, which 5 network bits. So which means the host bits are 3, right? 252, 248 means it's 5 host bits. So host bits are 3, so 2 to the power of 3 is 8 is your range. So which means this address range will be multiples of 0, 8, 16, of course 24, like that. So which means this address is 14. So basically this address range will be in between 8 to 15, right? So 8 is your network ID and 15 is your broadcast ID. This is the range. So now we need to figure out port number 6. We need to figure out any address coming in this range. Likewise, the same thing here. You can see 192.168.1.78, and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.224, which means /27. So the host bits are 5. So based on this 2 to the power of 5, the size of the network is 32, which means 32 means the range will be, of course, 78 means the nearest 32 multiple. So 0, 32, 64, of course 96. So it will be in the range of 64 to 95. So this fall in the range of 64 to 95. So 64 to 95. I'm just writing the range here. 8 to 15. 8 is a network ID, and 64 to 95. And again, the third one, the third range is also given here, and the third range is 1.130 with a 1.130 with a this one /26. /26 means it's a multiple of 64, right? Host bits will be 6 to the power of 664 will be the size. So which means 0 to 64, 128, 192. So it's going to be in this range, 128 to 191. So the first thing we need to identify, whatever the addresses given to you, they fall in this range or not. So if you just try to figure out, the 64 will be the network ID, you can see. So we cannot use this address. So basically the host A cannot have that address because of the network ID. So we'll strike off this. So this is not meeting our requirement. And also you can go with this address. You can remove this because that is going to be considered as a network ID. So we cannot assign the network ID as well. And any other addresses, of course, the other addresses seems to be valid addresses here. So which means we have leftover 4 options. Out of these 4, 3 are correct. So which means now we need to figure out this address 1.79. So 1.79 will be given to the host A. So let's see, is it going to satisfy or not? Host A means, now this host A is port number 6. Now we need to figure out this host A in port number 6. Now this port number 6 is in which VLAN? VLAN 10. And which means this is the range, right? So this is your VLAN 10. So if you just compare here, so which means 78 means this comes in this range, 64 to 95. So this comes in this range. So basically this is like the first correct answer. Yes, we can assign the host A with this IP. That's going to work because it is in the same VLAN as what is in the gateway. And the C also option will see the host A will be assigned with a gateway address 1.78. 78 address, I think we can assign because it's already, this is the gateway, right? So this gateway address is 78, so it is correct. So this is also the correct answer. And out of these two, any one is correct, right? Because the remaining options, so the host B default gateway is going to be this. So 1.129. Let me check. So host B is on port number 9, and that port number 9 is in the VLAN 20. And that VLAN 20, this is the address, which means it should fall in this range. So 128 to 100, yeah, we can assign this address because it comes in this range. So the host B IP address, we can assign this 192.168.1.190. So the host B address, so this is wrong actually, because if you observe here, the gateway address is 1.30 here. So this is not correct. So which means we can assign this address to the host B because it falls in this range. So which means A, C, F are the correct answers as per this. You can see here, A, C, F. As I said, these two addresses we have removed because they are network IDs, and this address is wrong. You can also filter because the gateway address is wrong here. So this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, which means automatically the remaining three are your correct answers.